This kid is electric. A superstar in the making.
The Milwaukee Brewers have a storied franchise, one that dates back over 50 years. The team has captured the hearts and souls of baseball fans around the world. Originally, they were an expansion team located in Seattle, Washington, but after just one season, they packed up their bats and balls and moved to Wisconsin. The new regime found a home in Milwaukee and fittingly changed their name to the Brewers, based on the city's rich history of brewing beer. A fun-loving team name that fans, even ones outside the city, have fallen in love with. All the love and support for the team is well and good, but the Brewers have one major problem. They're still on a dire search for their very first World Series championship. Sure, the ball club has won the division a handful of times, which was certainly memorable and all, but they've yet to put together that magical season. Well, that could soon be coming to an end. The Brewers' first divisional title came in 1981, but they eventually lost to the New York Yankees in the American League Divisional Series. The Beer Makers had a stellar squad and took the Bronx Bombers to a fifth and final game, where the Yankees won it in front of the home crowd. It was a bitter defeat, but the team rebounded well and won the pennant again the following year. This year was a bit more special as they made it all the way to the World Series. They got oh so close. Man, they were right there. They had it. They could taste it. They were up 3-2, but needed a fourth and final win to seal the deal. In Game 6, they got blown out 13-1. Then they lost again in Game 7, 6-3. They were winning too, leading the decisive game 3-1 in the 6th inning before the Cardinals scored the final 5 runs. The Brewers ultimately lost in 7 games to the Cardinals. The American League champs certainly featured a formidable lineup. Robin Yount, Cecil Cooper, and Paul Molitor led the charge, but it wasn't meant to be. Sadly, that year was the closest the team ever came to a championship. Over the next few decades, the team won more divisional titles, but it was nothing to hang their hats on. Molitor wound up winning a title with the Blue Jays. Robin Yount kept up his domination, but the Brewers never made it back to the World Series. In 2011, Ryan Braun led the team to a division title before the Brewers lost in what was a rematch between the same teams that faced off in the '82 World Series. The results were the same negative results for Milwaukee fans. In 2018, Ryan Braun and Christian Yelich teamed up, but the Brew Crew lost another NL Championship Series. It was a heartbreaking loss in 7 games at the hands of the Dodgers. They won the division again in 2021 and 2023. Again, another great accomplishment. However, both years ended in disappointment. The playoff push in 2021 marked their 4th straight year in the postseason, but unfortunately, they lost again in a disappointing finish to the Braves, who went on to win the World Series. In 2023, it was more of the same as they inexplicably lost again. This time, it was to the Arizona Diamondbacks in the Wild Card Series, who also went on to win the pennant. Amazingly, every playoff loss the Brewers have ever suffered came from a team that made it to the World Series. How crazy is that? The Brewers need a savior, someone young to come in and flip the script for the city. Who wants to be that hero? All the pain throughout the years, all that suffering and misery could soon change for Milwaukee. There's a new sheriff in town, a young man named Jackson Chourio. Brewer Nation is hoping the rookie will help put an end to the long-standing goose egg in the World Series victories department. For the Brewers and their fans, it's been an intolerable wait, hoping year after year for a championship. The beer-making fans just can't take it much more, and maybe, just maybe, they won't have to. Chourio is looking like a bona fide superstar. As we know from the past, having a superstar in your lineup doesn't guarantee a bid to the World Series, but he sure is an excellent horse to have in the stable. Milwaukee has had plenty of uber-talented baseball players come to town over the years, but nobody was able to get the team over the hump. Let's see if Chourio is the man they've been waiting for all this time, and the Yak fam just had to dive in to see how good he really is. From legends and league MVPs like Raleigh Fingers and Robin Yount to a World Series MVP and Paul Molitor, none have pushed the team to the promised land. Even recent superstars like Ryan Braun and Christian Yelich have taken their cracks at it, but none have had the privilege to hoist the commissioner's trophy. The Brewers aren't alone in this quandary, as the Rockies, Padres, Mariners, and Rays are the other teams in the majors without a title. 5 teams have failed to establish themselves with the honor of being champions. Something's gotta give for one of those teams soon, right? The Brewers front office wants that coveted first championship, and they want it bad. They were willing to take a chance on Jackson Chourio, signing him to an 8-year deal worth $82 million. It was the largest contract ever given to a player who at the time had not reached the level of the MLB. They rolled the dice, and thus far, it appears to be paying off. In the team's opening series against the Mets, they swept the Mets at home. The right fielder went 5 for 12 in the 3-game set with 2 RBI and a stolen base. A great start for the kid's confidence as he gets acclimated to the league. The following series was a quick 2 games against the Twins. In the second game of the series, Jackson clocked his first long ball. It was on April 3rd, and some of his teammates gave him the rookie treatment in the dugout. 3 days later against the Mariners, the rookie blasted his second home run of the season. As with most rookies, there were some early periods of struggle. His batting average hovered just over the Mendoza line for the first 50 games or so. As the season went on, Jackson got more comfortable at the plate and his numbers started to rise. In the month of June, he hit for a .315 average. In July, he hit .317 and saved his best month for August when he hit .321 with 5 home runs and 19 RBI. At this rate, the sky's the limit. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to be a part of the Yak fam so you don't miss any player profiles. All your support is so appreciated. On September 12th, the Brewers were facing the Giants at Oracle Park when Chourio hammered a ball to the opposite field in the 8th inning. The ball sailed over the wall, and in doing so, Jackson became the youngest player in MLB history to record 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases in a single season. The Venezuelan was just 20 years and 185 days old, topping the likes of Mike Trout and the late great Cincinnati Reds outfielder Vada Pinson. The Angels kept Trout under 130 at-bats in his first season, so he was still considered a rookie in year 2. In Mike's rookie season, in 2012, he swiped a career-high 49 bags and was only caught 5 times. Just sensational numbers. He added 30 long balls with a .326 batting average. It's hard to say that Jackson will reach the level of Mike Trout, but only time will tell. He's off to a good start though. So just how does one become the youngest player to accomplish such an amazing feat? Well, let's take it back to March 11, 2004, when Jackson Chourio was born. His father, Jackson Chourio Sr., played ball and was a huge fan of the game. He passed his love on to his 2 sons. Jackson credits his father for a great deal of his success in making it to the majors. The Chourios grew up in a large city called Maracaibo, Venezuela. The boys often accompanied their dad to his games and watched him play at local parks. The boys' father would provide them with extra swings after the games were over. His brother, Jason Chourio, also navigated his way to the big leagues. He's a member of the Cleveland Guardians organization. In 3 minor league seasons, he's amassed 78 stolen bases with 7 home runs and 114 RBI so far. Jason is 2 years older than his brother, and together, they've made their parents extremely proud. Jackson had baseball running through his veins from as early as he can remember. All that extra work with his father paid off handsomely. At the tender age of 16, he was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers as an international free agent. On January 15, 2021, he signed his first contract, which came with a hefty $1.8 million signing bonus. Not bad for a kid who's just learning to drive a car, wouldn't you say? His professional debut came in the Dominican Summer League on a Milwaukee Brewers minor league affiliate team. Jackson hit nearly 300 with 5 home runs and 25 RBI in 45 games. In 2022, he started the season at Single A, played for the Carolina Mudcats before getting a promotion to High A, where he played for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. He continued his success, and Chourio was promoted again to Double A, where he played for the Biloxi Shuckers. His quick ascension through the minor league system left him as one of the league's top MLB prospects. At the start of the 2023 season, Chourio was still ranked as one of the best minor leaguers in the business. He battled for the Shuckers and finished with 122 games played on the year. Jackson had a batting average of .280 with 22 homers, 89 runs batted in, and 41 stolen bases. He had turned himself into an electric 5-tool player, one that's rare to find in the world today. The 89 RBI were a Biloxi Shuckers record for a single season. The team had no choice, their hands were tied, and they promoted him once again. This time, he was headed to AAA to join the Nashville Sounds. The youngster's time here was super short, as he only played in 6 games. The Big Show was calling his name, and he obliged. His climb to the top was impressive for anybody, much less a young kid like Jackson. The Phenom earned his right, and all that noise about him being too young doesn't mean a thing. The kid can flat out play. This year, he's producing more gaudy numbers. Even though he's not even able to drink alcohol legally here in the United States, his numbers speak for themselves. The 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases are a marvel, and who knows if they'll ever be topped. Players are constantly getting bigger and better, so surely someday we'll see the record broken, but it could sit for a while. From June 1st to September 6, 2024, Jackson Chourio has scored 49 runs, 14 home runs, 53 ribbies, 13 stolen bases, a .319 batting average with a whopping .929 OPS. We can't believe he's only 20. We're hoping for Milwaukee's sake that Jackson Chourio was sent there to break the curse. It's not the curse of the Bambino, which lingered in Boston for 86 years, or the curse of the Billy Goat that looms strong at Wrigley Field for over a century. This is a different curse altogether that's been hanging out for over half a century. Call it the curse of Bernie Brewer or whatever you'd like, but hopefully we'll see them popping bottles in Wisconsin soon, donning those eye goggles for an all-night champagne shower. Thanks for watching and allowing the Yak fam to be a part of your day. Go get 'em, Brew Crew Nation!